Hey guys, today we're doing the Planner Setup 2018 Part 2 video, and we'll be doing my bullet journal. The bullet journal we'll be using today is the Bondi book in the A5 size. I always like starting off my bullet journal with the at-a-glance pages. I like doing 2018, 2019, and 2020. Since I needed an extra page to fill in, I put in the list page, which is just some place I like to list personal information. My next design is my savings page. I went online to clipartslibrary.com and found these mason jars. It is a website you can go on to download clip art for free. I'll link it in the description below. The glue I'm using here is just the stick glue from Avery. For my expense tracker, I'm just making a simple monthly tracker of expenses that happen every month just so I can keep track of it. Some things like my BoxyCharm, Ipsy, and monthly bills. I just put these here as an example because I was trying to do a very quick video. You can see here I also messed up. For some reason I put an A for January. I have no idea why I did that. For my weight tracker, I went online to clipartslibrary.com and downloaded these little scales in the color pink. They also have them in white and black. I just wanted them pink because they kind of matched my theme that I was doing for the bullet journal setup. I'm using the Elmer's tape runner in the permanent tape, and I just did that because I wanted these little pieces of clip art that I'm gluing on to stick so I don't have to worry about them falling off or anything like that. But if you're worried that this might be too much, if you want to move it around, then you can just use the movable or the temporary adhesive, which is I believe in a different color container. Here I also messed up in my August title. I don't know why I skipped one of the upward strokes for the G. Sometimes I do that when I'm trying to write really fast, but in this case I actually wanted it to be very distinct. So I just put white out on it and I waited for it to settle, and then I'm going to go back in and write in August, or AUG actually, the abbreviation. For my yoga days, I didn't want to make it the same design as everything else I'm doing, so I went back to clipartslibrary.com and I downloaded these lotuses, and I just printed them in a size where I knew I could fit 12 lotuses for 12 months. At the end of the video, you're going to see that there's some sort of smudge or smear that happened, and I'm going to try to fix that. But for right now, these are just going on perfectly. Now, like I said, this tape runner is permanent, and it is very hard to lift them, so you have to be very careful if you get this tape runner because it can rip your pages. So I'm not going to worry about the alignment. I'm just going to keep going. For my YouTube tracker, I've noticed in my other YouTube trackers that I'm already doing in my traveler's notebook that I just wanted to keep track of a little bit of stats and just want to upload. So I'm just going to have a list coming down. My next design is one of my favorite designs. I did it in my traveler's notebook and I wanted to have it in my bullet journal. So I just went in with some gel pens. These are just any generic gel pens you can buy anywhere. You can buy them at Walmart, Dollar Store. I'm not really sure where I got mine. I just went in and wrote in the 19 before in 2019. And these are just things that I'm be filling in, things that I want to do throughout the year. For my New Year's resolution, I already came up with my New Year's resolution. I'm going to write that in at a later time. For books I've read, I'm just doing a bookshelf here, and I'm going to be filling in and drawing in some books as I go along throughout the year. I'm starting off with just a couple because we're just into 3 weeks into January. I know I'm doing my setup really late, and so far I've only read 4 books. So hopefully this will be enough space for all the books I read in a year. And yes, I know I read a lot of books, but I'm a fast reader. I tried to draw a little vase here, and I had to give it a little bit of a shadow because I didn't like the shape of the original design. For books of the Bible, there are a lot of books in the Bible, and I wanted to make sure that I could fit them all on this bookshelf design right here. So I just went in and counted all the books that I wanted to put it in, and I tried to make them all fit into these 4 bookshelves, which meant that I had to make some of the books a little bit thinner than the other ones. And I made sure there were books names that I could write very thinly or that were very small. I just wrote in Genesis and Revelations just so I know what direction I want to write the names in, and I'll be filling them in and coloring them in as I try to read the Bible in 1 year. This is a goal that I'm putting for myself this year, and I hope that I achieve it. For movies I've watched, I'm just putting in some ticket stubs here, and I'm writing in some of the movies I've watched, and I'll be coloring them in as well. I don't go to the movies that often, but when I do, I just like keeping track of the movies that I do watch. If this is something that I might do more often, then I might have to do a separate page for it, but I thought this would be probably a good estimate about how many movies I watch in a year. For the Meg Cabot and Sarah J. Maas pages on the right hand side, I haven't decided what design I'm going to do for that. Those are just 2 of my favorite authors, and I like keeping track of the books I read or reread in some cases. For my Pentel information, I just downloaded like clip art from clipartlibrary.com, and it's just a little envelope, and I'll be writing the information there. On the Psych and Castle page, these are just 2 series that I really love and that I'm rewatching right now. Obviously, I don't have a lot of time to watch a ton of episodes, so I'm kind of taking it slow, enjoying it. I'm not doing it as a binge watch. Here you can see where I struggled with the tape just because it is a permanent tape, and you have to be very careful with it. I'm just gonna draw the boxes here or the basic layout, and I'll fill this area in off camera. The designs and photographs I used in these 2 layouts are just images I found online. I don't own the rights to it, so therefore I can't make it available to anyone. This is just for personal use, and it's up to you guys if you want to do a search and look for them and make a similar design. On the following page, I have another series that I'm also starting to rewatch. I started rewatching this in 2016. It's the NCIS Los Angeles series. I absolutely love this series, and I am rewatching it. Also, I'm rereading this series, the Harry Potter series, with my mom, and so far we both read and watched book 1. Almost done with book 2, but I'm trying not to pressure her and let her have her time in reading the second book. I may have to leave her behind in the series to see if I want to get it done quickly. So it's just something that I wanted to keep track of, and as soon as we finish a book, we also go back and watch the movie, so I'll be putting 2 boxes in there. This is the Marvel Universe pages. I started rewatching this series with my baby sister. Part of the reason that I'm doing this is because there are still movies coming out, and I just want to keep track of movies that I own and if I've seen it or haven't seen it or I'm looking forward to it. This is the Pixar movie page. It's the same thing. These are just, I want to keep track of the movies that I own and watched or rewatched, and it's just a fun page. It's not really anything big, and I don't have to finish it this year or anything like that. It's just like a permanent collection kind of situation. And it will also have two columns. One column is for watched and the other one is for owned. Surprisingly, I don't own that many Pixar movies, and having this collection just made me realize that. The following page is the K-dramas page, which just means Korean dramas. I got into Korean dramas back in 2005, and I have been obsessed with them, and I tried watching a couple every year. Here I noticed that I drew way too many boxes for how many I watch in 1 year, so I decided maybe I should write down some of my favorites along with the ones I've seen this year. The following page I actually copied from Sunday Mornings on YouTube. This is just a cute little design and it's kind of a countdown of the year, and as you keep going you can write down little milestones that you've done throughout the year, and it kind of looks like a treasure map. In the following page, I just wanted to do a future log, and I just simply broke down these 2 pages into 3 slots on top and 3 slots on the bottom, and I just wanted to write down important dates. I'm not writing down the calendars, I'm just putting the titles on top and at the bottom, January through December, and as dates or events happen, I'll just write it in here, making sure that I write them in, or later transfer them in as I'm doing my future planning. I decided to do a year in pixels. This is new for me. I don't usually track my mood or anything like that, but I saw a bunch of layouts and designs of people who did this throughout last year, and I thought it was very interesting, so I decided to do it this year. As you can see on the right hand side is my January cover page. This winter it's been quite surprising. We've had snow and of course a lot of cold days, so I just went in with a blue pen and decided to do some icicles on the top. Behind my January cover page I'm just going to do a countdown. I did a Christmas countdown and I really like doing it, so I decided maybe to do like a monthly countdown just to cross off my days. On the right hand side I have a coloring page. This is just from, I believe it's just color.com. It's an app you can also download. They have some free PDFs that you can download and color for personal uses. I'll put the links below for you so you can go and download whatever you like. On the following page I am doing my month at a glance. I will probably use that for YouTube and other things that are important events. On the right hand side I am going to do a habit tracker. I don't have that many habits that I track, so I won't need the entire page, so I decided to do a sleep tracker as well. So I'll just be dividing the page into 2, and I'll be using the dates that are on the left hand side for the sleep tracker. On this page, I'm just going to fill in my weeks for my weekly planning. I'm just completely winging the designs for the weekly planning. I'm not trying to follow any specific design, just kind of go with the flow. I'll be using some stencils here that I ordered off of AliExpress, but these are also available on Amazon and eBay. I'm just doing some boxes. And of course, all the materials that I'm using today, I'll put it in the description box below. If I can find a direct link, I'll add it. If not, I'll just list it. This will be my 3rd week design. It will also be a 2-page spread. I also added a to-do and notes section. For the following weeks, I just wanted a simple design, so I just listed something out and used the Crayola Super Tips to give it a little bit of color. I went in with another stencil for my last week, and I used a blue pen. And I just made a simple design where I could just write down my list or events, and of course I put a little bit of a shadow and then the title. I'll be showing you the final product of my pages now. As you can see here, the index, and then of course the year at a glance. The list pages, my savings pages with the mason jars, the expense tracker I haven't quite filled in yet, the weight tracker, and the yoga days. You can see where I had the smear and I tried to put a little bit of decoration so it would be so obvious. You have to be very careful with the tape runner, maybe use a temporary one like I'm showing here. a YouTube tracker and Instagram tracker, the 19 before 2019 and New Year's resolution, the books I've read, books of the Bible, movies I watched. I still haven't decided what design I'm going to do for this page. Of course, my pen pal information, important infos page, just like a brain dump page, my Psych and Castle series design. I'm just filling in a couple of blocks that I've already seen and things that I already own. The NCIS Los Angeles series, as you can see, I'm on season 6, episode 17. Of course, the Harry Potter spread. I messed up here as well, so I just put a little sticker and hopefully that makes it less noticeable. I'm just filling in all the movies that I own. K-dramas, I left it as is just so I can maybe put a different design later. The Get Lost in the Right Direction page. The Future Log. A Year in Pixels, and my January cover. I went in with some color pencils just to color in the icicles. My monthly countdown and my coloring page. The January at a glance, habit tracker and sleep tracker, and of course my weekly layouts. Thank you guys, and I hope you enjoyed. See you later.